Folks, we're back. This is Steve Sanchez, Jim Jones for another episode of Veterans in Politics. Today we have a special guest, Andre Haynes, who is the president and founder of the Veterans Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Haynes,
you just butchered the name. It's the Armed Forces Chamber of Commerce.
Isn't that what I said?
Nah, you said veteran, man. Somebody's gonna send me like a cease and desist and sue me, and you're gonna be named. Hey, speaking of that, getting sued.
I did that deliberately. I wanted to see if you would catch on.
Speaking of that,
Armed Forces Chamber.
Speaking of that, getting sued. Hey, congratulations to you guys.
That's good.
You won both of those lawsuits.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they have cases in the lower court.
You talking about the Marshall Willis?
Yeah, a lot of people have cases in the lower court. You guys went all the way to the top. And not just won once, but twice. How's that feel?
That feels good. Actually, it was three, because there was another case that was totally dismissed.
How's that feel?
Good.
Feels good.
It's got to be vindicating.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah.
All right, so give the listeners and viewers a bio about yourself.
Okay. So my name is Andre Haynes. I'm the founder and CEO of the Armed Forces Chamber.
You're not the president?
Like no, I did the CEO. But now one of our hold on, I don't want to butcher it. One of our senior level officers, he's a Marine, by the way, is helping us with the chain of command and the infrastructure. So he told me now I have to use the title commander. So shout out to Thomas, Sin City Graphics, so he knows about that.
All right, keep going with your bio.
You know what I mean.
Keep going.
But we're America's first chamber of commerce, with operations based off of military infrastructure or military-inspired operations, and Nevada's first chamber formed to serve armed forces members. In Nevada, there's over 100 chambers of commerce.
Yeah.
Got the women's, the urban, Sin City, LGBTQ, Las Vegas.
What you bouncing back and forth like this?
I'm excited. I got energy.
Oh, okay.
I feel skinny today.
You don't look skinny.
But no, we're excited to be the first chamber in the state of Nevada formed to serve armed forces members. What I've learned over the years is that there are a lot of business benefits for armed forces members and even their spouses, but that information wasn't being relayed. It wasn't reaching the armed forces members or the spouses.
Right. So let's get right into it.
Jump into it.
Right. So this is what a lot of people want to know.
Okay.
Because you've never served in the military.
Correct.
Okay. How could somebody like you inspire veterans to join your organization?
That's a good question. Here's how. When I say we, I'm talking about the whole team. We've taken the time to get the information, to get the resources, to get the relationships with the people that provide these services, and that's what we give to our members. Okay. No one's ever done it. You have a lot of groups out there that provide services, but again, that information never made it to the armed forces.
What kind of services are we talking about?
For example, business licensing, forming an entity, a business plan, marketing plan.
When you say entity, you mean charter?
Like an LLC, right, all that kind of stuff. Well, there's a lot of benefits out there where armed forces members can get those things for free or discounted. And there's even things they could get waived. Right. They don't know about it. So the benefits and the perks have been out there way before we came along. But the armed forces members didn't know about it. So me, because of my background in business and marketing, and I've had to do a lot of these things for myself and other people, I was like, hey, I could do it for armed forces members.
Do you get the respect from veterans doing this?
You know what? Some I do and some I don't. I only focus on the ones who I do, the ones who are actually benefiting from the services and using it. Someone asked me the same thing a few weeks ago, and I told them, I said, it's interesting when we'll just take America and you look at our history. We have people that were fighting for women's rights to vote. That weren't women. We have people fighting for blacks to be free. That weren't black.
Yeah.
We have people fighting for members of the LGBTQ community to get equality and become married. They weren't all, some of them were heterosexual.
Actually, there was I forget her name, a white person in the Republican Party that created the NAACP.
That's right. And a lot of people don't know that the Republican Party were the ones who helped usher in freedom for black slaves. But today in 2020, when most people say Republican, they'll tell you it's a bunch of old Caucasians, male Caucasians. So, I'm actually honored to advocate and to come serve a group that, no, I did not serve. A lot of my family did. I think it's cool that I did because I have a different perspective.
So you're serving in this capacity now?
That's right, serving those who serve.
Okay. So, you were talking about services. Exactly what, how does one become a member, and what do you have to do? Do you check them out? Do you ask them to give you your DD-214, which is the military separation papers? What do you do to become a member? And that's an individual, or are they like group members as well?
You know what? The members range from individuals to businesses. Like we had recently, United Nissan join. I don't want to butcher his name. Don Foreman owns it. He didn't serve, but his organization did. Then we have individuals who serve. That could be a veteran like yourself. They could be a firefighter. It could be a spouse. So as far as the membership process, we have everything online. They go online. Of course, there's an application to fill out.
What's the website, by the way?
armedforceschamber.com. So they could go online, fill out the application, pay their dues.
How much is dues?
For Armed Forces members, $350. First responders, $450. Advocates like myself, $500.
That's pretty good. $3.50, $4.50, and $5. That's not bad. Kid.
And that's why we're coming to the bank of Steve Sampson to get that $1 million loan. Make a difference. But
is that annually or is that
yes, that's annual. And what happens is if someone does say, for example, like you said, Andre, I'm filling out my paperwork, I'm a Marine. Then we would ask you to send us a copy of your DD-214 or your VA ID.
Does
or your
veterans
military
get a discount versus the non-veterans that join?
Yes, theirs is $350.
Oh.
They have the lowest price.
Okay.
And if you look at the other chambers, the average joining price for everybody is $600, and it increases based on how many employees you have.
Right.
So ours, we don't base the price on the number of employees you have. We base it on your Armed Forces member, first responder, or advocate. Advocate pays the most.
How many members do you have?
Right now, a little more than 400.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. We just
That's
celebrated.
actively paid members?
Yeah, and we just celebrated our 3-year anniversary.
Who does your membership?
What do you mean by who does it?
Who gets the members and collects the dues and all that?
Well, the dues are paid to the company. They come there. As far as who gets the members, all the members.
Oh, you don't have somebody that go actively seeking?
We do. We've got some committees and we got people to do it, but I don't attribute that to any one person. I say it's a group effort.
Okay. Your meet is that once a month, once a week?
Yep. We have mixers once a month. We do luncheons once a quarter at Martin Harris. Plug for them. They host it. We hold coming up.
Isn't Martin Harris a construction company?
Yeah, they are. And the gentlemen who own that, they're not even veterans, but they love the cause. They love what we do. They say, hey, come use our place. We're not going to give you any charge. We'll let you use the TV and all this electronics. We have a caterer that sponsors the food. We get people to donate their time to come talk. We've had people from the SBA and other organizations. But also we have coming up in May, and I'm going to plug it if it's okay.
No,
Too late, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you're on the show.
We have our, it's called the Armed Forces Day Festival. And what we do is a business expo during the day, and then at night we have an awards banquet.
Okay.
And so the awards, it's our second time doing it. The awards go to members, but this time we're going to expand it, and we're also going to award some people in the community who are veterans.
Okay. Because I noticed you guys do the trunk or treat and the back to school supply.
You know what? And that we do because of me. Initially, it's always been a passion of mine to give back to the community. I feel like as individuals, whether you're a business owner or not, that we all should give something back. Whatever that is, however often that is, whoever we give that to. And I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a good segue. I brought, we just created it, our Community Impact Report for 2019. So I'm going to throw out some numbers. The first time I heard it, and he's not the first person who said it, was Jay-Z. Years ago when he was the president of Def Jam, they had some internal beef. Yeah. They didn't like him being an artist on the label and then being a president, and he went to one of the awards. And one of the things he said, he didn't say a whole lot, but he said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So I want to give some numbers. Here's my numbers. So in 2019, the Armed Forces Chamber donated in-kind products to 3,227 households in Clark County, Nevada, valued at $293,500. That includes backpacks filled with school supplies to 250 households, valued at $12,500. Christmas gifts donated to 125 households, valued at $5,000. New furniture donated to 2 households, valued at $6,000. Groceries donated to 2,500 households, valued at $250,000, and health screenings donated to 350 households valued at $20,000. So all those combined equals 3,227 households and $293,500.
How do you determine what? Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How do you determine who gets what?
You know what? It's been recommendations, and it's also been people signing up. So, for example, for the back to school drive, we create an event page. There's a form. Anybody can go on there and say, "Hey, I need gifts for my kids." Now they have to tell us the first name of the kid, the age, what school they go to, and of course give us their zip code. But there's no putting the name in the wheel and spin it and pull it out. Nah, it's a come for all. Probably half of the people who've received all these things I mentioned, they've all been referred from members and even non-members. Like in Christmas, we had, I won't say their name, one member who's their active duty Air Force. They said, "Hey, we've got a military family, spouse just passed away, wife is left behind with the kids. They don't have a Christmas. All right, what do they need? They need a tree, they need presents, they need this, they need that. Okay, what's the ages of the kids? What's their gender? Oh, there's a boy, there's a girl. No problem. Took care of that."
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I've noticed listening to you and Steve kind of touched on a little bit with his one of his questions, and this is more of a statement than actually a question. One of the things that I have noticed a lot lately, just coming from my perspective, is that I've noticed that, well, I've always known that like a lot of people when they get out of the military are just tired of politics. They just want to be left alone. You know, they don't want to get involved in politics. They really don't want to get involved in a lot of things. And one thing and it's interesting because the more I talk to people and the more I go around, it's exciting and interesting at the same time that a lot of people that never served, but their family members have served, tend to be active, like really actively involved in it.
And you know what? It's a numbers game. When you look at people, all of us tend to be passionate about something that was brought to our doorstep.
Yeah.
I've got somebody in my family with mental health challenges, so that's why I've been an advocate for autism. Until that happened, it wasn't really on my radar. It wasn't something I was.
But
concerned
why is that? Why do people always wait till these things knock on their door before they do something?
You know what? I don't have an answer, but I know for myself personally, for veterans, serving was something I always respected, even though I didn't do it. But it wasn't until I was living a few short weeks with my uncle who was Vietnam veteran, and when I saw his challenges, I had no idea. And it wasn't until I felt helpless, like, man, I wish we could do more, that I was like, you know what? When I get older and when I could do something, I will. The beauty of that, people going through whatever experiences and getting those reasons to become passionate, is you have people right now that have jobs. And that could be a government agency, that could be a privately owned business, people are in relationships. There's no passion. It's routine. It's tradition. It's mundane.
Yeah.
So they don't give their best. They really don't care about it that much because they're just doing it because that's what I'm supposed to do or I've been doing it for so long. But when you look at people that maybe someone in their family was killed by a drunk driver and now you see them supporting those groups and doing things to bring awareness to drunk driving. I just think it's a bad thing for people to do stuff without the passion.
You know, I think that people should just do things because it's a good cause.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, my mindset is like the family court stuff. I have no personal relations with anything going on in family court, but I do it because I don't want to knock on my door because I know my personality and I know if it's knocking on somebody else's door, I'm more diplomatic and rational. But once it knocks on my door, I'm more emotional and aggressive.
Yeah.
in a negative way. So I rather do it while I could do it in a positive way when it doesn't immediately affect me.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I mean, for the last 3 years at my son's school, Destiny Beavers and I, and the counselor, Destiny Beavers, she's the VP of the Chamber Youth Center.
Oh, okay.
We started an after-school mentoring
of
program. Yeah, I got some online.
Oh, right.
But we started an after-school mentoring program for the at-risk youth, and these were the kids who were getting kicked out of class because behavior.
For truancy.
Yeah, they were disrupting the class. They weren't doing their homework. They were failing the test. The counselor came to us and said, hey, we need some help. Andre, know you're real involved in your son's life. You're a cool guy. Can you help out? Now, 3 years later, we've got almost 100 kids, boys and girls group. We spend an hour with them every Tuesday. I do that for two reasons. Well, three. One, because I was asked. Two, my son goes to that school and I want to be a good example for my son. But three, I realize with the youth, with young people, the ones we don't help, the ones that fall through the crack, well, the reality is this: that might be somebody breaking into our door. That might be somebody sticking up our kid. That might be the doctor or the nurse is working at the hospital and we're in our 70s and need help. We get them. Right. So the thing is, I'm saying, similar to what you said, eventually it knocks on your door. So if we could do something preventative, we could do something in the beginning to keep it off our door or to improve what knocks on our door, or even our kids. You and I are both fathers. You're a grandfather. Well, the thing is that one kid that somebody didn't reach 10 years ago, that turns to a life of crime, that could commit suicide, that could be a horrible husband or wife, maybe there's domestic violence in the situation. Somebody or something before that happened could have said or did something to help that person go down a new path, become a better person. So that later on, when they're dating my son, your daughter, your grandchild, or somebody we hire to work for our business, it's a whole different situation. Yeah. So, bringing that full circle with the Armed Forces Chamber, I saw my uncle and I saw other people not even related to me who they served in combat and they had PTSD, they had TBI, and nobody helped them. And then they're in Veterans Treatment Court, or then they're homeless, or then they're suicidal, or then we're going to a funeral and you got nobody there because nobody stopped to care and to try to intervene and make a difference when they can. Speaking of Veterans Treatment Court, when I looked at the defendants of Veterans Treatment Court, one of the biggest underlying factors as to why they ended up there was money. And so the thing is this: when you're an officer in the military, when you're responsible for people and for all these things that cost a lot of money, then you become a civilian and you go get a job and you got some kid half your age who maybe didn't go to college, who never had responsibility telling you what to do. Or they're putting all these rules on you. That doesn't work out. So where does that leave? You got to start a business. So I felt like forming this chamber 3 years ago was essential because it gave those men and women who were in that position a chance to be a shot caller, a chance to make their own decisions, and not to, oh no, you got to report it this time. You got to wear this. We didn't like the way you said this or said that. Everybody can't handle that. I know myself, I could. I'd probably be throwing a chair or something like that. Just the reality. So, and the other cool thing about the chamber, like our monthly mixers and some of the other things we do, it's a safe place. And I've had men and women, members and non-members alike, that said, hey, I'm not a member of a veteran service organization. The people I served with, some came home, some didn't. We all live in different places. But man, when I come here and I could talk to a fellow Marine, I could talk to somebody from the Army, and we all got our hats on, and we could just talk and share stories. Like, I needed that. That felt good. Because the reality is this: it's similar to church, it's similar to any group. Everybody is not going to respond to the same thing. I'll use church for example. Everybody's not going to gel with the personality of every church or every pastor. So the church for them might be at home. It might be turning on television. It might be listening to something on the radio. When it comes to groups, every chamber is not for everybody. And so the good thing about that is that's why it's important for everybody to have something or someone they can relate to and go to. And that's what this chamber has become for the members. But yeah, me not serving, I love it. I think it's the best PR on the planet. And I also think it challenges other people to know you don't have to have served in the military
to help the military.
Right. Because again, looking at this country, if people...
And why would anybody want to discourage anybody from helping?
People do. People do. I mean, I had a couple of years ago, a confrontation. I won't name names. And somebody told me to my face, you didn't serve in the military, you shouldn't be helping, step down.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm going to listen to you right away, sir.
Told me that right to my face. I won't say what happened next. I mean, it wasn't a scuffle or nothing. I had some choice words for them.
Right.
But, you know, I say to anybody watching and listening, if you want to help anybody, I don't care if you're part of that group, that race, that culture, that religion, it doesn't matter. Don't let people discourage you. I mean, look at you guys. With the family court, like you said, you don't have an open case.
No
You don't have a past case in Clark County about it. You're not a father. You're not a grandfather. You don't have to do that. But the reality is this. Not only can it knock on your door, but if people are out there hurt and people need to help, and you have the ability to help them, and it's not taking you out of your way, or maybe it is, why not? Somebody has to. If all of us, when somebody needed help, say, you know what, I'm not going to help you because our shoes are different. I'm not going to help you because we don't live in the same community.
Right.
I'm not going to help you because we have different viewpoints on stuff. Man, we'd be in bad shape. You know, and even me, as a business owner, as a father, as a son, I've had a lot of people help me. I didn't deserve their help.
Yeah.
There was nothing I could do to earn it, but just because they had grace and mercy, you know what, man, I'm gonna help you. I mean, look at you. We've been friends almost 10 years. First couple of years, I sucked as a friend. Being honest. But he saw something in me, and you know what? I'm gonna take this BS. I'm gonna take this immaturity off this young guy. I'm gonna keep telling him the truth.
Right.
We'll bump heads, and eventually I grew the heck up.
Right.
And now he's able to enjoy a better friend. But if he never did that, my parents are still living. They're my best friends. They're part of my life. But the reality is, it still takes a village.
Right.
So if the village never came together for family court, for veterans in politics, for the Armed Forces Chamber, for whatever it is, we'd be in trouble. And the trouble we do have now with young adults, with teenagers and young people, it's because they don't have it at home, and it's because the people around their home haven't stepped up to say, let me help. Yeah, we all busy. We all have lives. We all got bills to pay.
So how do people go about getting in contact with you or whoever to join?
Gotcha. The best thing they could do is go online to the website, armedforceschamber.com, or give us a call, 702-518-8847, or come to an event. I mean, I'm accessible. Come to an event. Hey, Andre, I'm such and such. I like to join, and either I'm going to help them, or I'm going to say, come here, or you come here, help this person.
I've never asked you this question. I've known you a long time. Like every time I see you, you're so full of energy, and it's like you're always doing something. So give the viewers or listeners what's a day in Andre Haynes' life? What's a typical day for you?
Well, I hit the Cheetah's nightclub, and then I go to the
You know what?
to the tackle bar.
No, you know what? A day of my life. I've got a 10-year-old son with special needs who's very functional. I've got a 21-year-old daughter that I had out of wedlock that is being raised by two different households and a great support group. I've got two parents that are healthy, but I still enjoy my time with them. I've got a few friends. I know a lot of people, but I only have a few friends that give a heck enough about me to tell me the truth or be there when I'm going through something. And then at the same time, even at 42, I'm still learning who I am, and I'm still trying to do some of the things that make me happy.
Yeah, I've still forgotten. I've gotten to the point where I almost like you enough to forget you being a Durango Trailblazer.
Class of '96, you know. But the thing that's amazing, man, is all of us have a story. All of us come from somewhere. Even myself, you know, getting older, I looked at some of my attributes and my personality traits. Some of it was by choice, some of it was because of experiences I had, and I didn't even realize it. It took somebody pointing that out to me and then having to process it and deal with it and then try to be mature and get past that. So I've learned, especially with the chamber, I didn't learn it with any other business I have, but with the chamber, when I'm sitting down talking to a veteran and we have a meeting, and either they come 15 minutes early or they do a no call, no show. And the one that does a no call, no show, when I want to be pissed off and I want to, you know what, it's done, it's canceled, and then they share, man, I had this going on, or man, I'm dealing with that, and it's like, wow. So I'm learning that we have a right to have a standard and have expectation of other people's and ourselves. But sometimes life, what we're going through now or what we've been through gets in the way. And so we've got to all be gracious and merciful and patient with other people, especially if you want people to be that way with you.
Right.
And so for me, dealing with armed forces members and first responders and even advocates, it's really tempered me.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways that over the years, people have tried, but I was resistant to it.
Yeah.
But now, because I really want to be the best I could be and help people the best I can, I've had to be that. You quiet? You never this quiet.
I'm just like absorbing the whole thing. So basically, I just want to know, once you pay your $350 if you're a vet, or your $450 if you're a non-vet for the annual membership to join the Armed Forces Chamber of Commerce, exactly what can one expect?
Well, you asked. So going back to one of the things we're proud of, our operations being inspired by military. When someone joins, they're going to get a welcome phone call from myself and others. They're going to get an assessment form where they're able to say, these are my business needs. This is maybe what I need on a personal level. This is what I'm looking to do in the community, or I'm looking to serve in a leadership capacity in a chamber. And based on that, determines, okay, this is what we're going to do in-house, or we're going to refer you out. In addition to that, they're going to come to a mixer. They're going to be sworn in. They're going to raise their right hand. We have an oath based off of the military's oath.
Yeah.
They're going to take that oath. And then from there, it's really just really get them involved and also serve them in their business needs or whatever that is. And it's different. I have some join that say, hey, we want to be on television. And one says, I need an attorney to help me with legal forms. One says, Andre, I need to get my certification as a veteran-owned business. What do I do? And we try to help them right there, either in-house or referring them to one of our allies like the Small Business Administration or a bunch of other groups that are out there. But they can expect when they join to be welcome into the fold and immediately get service. And then at the same time, just like military, you get a job. And so now we said this year, when they join, all right, you gotta get a job. You've got to give back. Because we've had some join and they received the benefits and the services, but they didn't reciprocate and give back to the group. And the only way the group is going to grow in quantity, grow in substance, and grow in value is everybody needs to give something back. So now it's like, all right, let's put their feet to the fire. Let's switch it up. We know some are going to stay, some are going to go, but it's what's necessary.
You got anything else, Jim?
No.
You want to look into the camera and tell folks why they should join the Armed Forces Chamber of Commerce and your point of contact?
Definitely. You know what? It's the same as the military. If you're looking to join something that is bigger than yourself, if you're looking to help establish a legacy that's going to be around, if you're looking to positively change the lives of people, whether that's in a business capacity or in the community, if you're just looking for a place to be around your brothers and sisters in arms or advocates like myself that care, you want to join the Armed Forces Chamber. You could call us at 702-518-8847 or visit us online at armedforceschamber.com.
That's it?
That's it.
Folks, that's Andre Haynes, the president or CEO and founder of the Armed Forces Chamber of Commerce. This is Steve Sampson, Jim Jones for Veterans in Politics. Until next time.